The MTA wants the New York Roadrunners to pay $750,000 for shutting down the Verrazzano-Narrows bridge during the New York City Marathon. So that fee works out to about $15 per runner. It's more than double what you pay to drive across the Verrazzano using an Easy Pass, which is $7.
So the MTA says if the Roadrunners don't pay, usage of the bridge, which is the starting point of the race, will be restricted next year.
Did I take this job for a quick buck? We may never know the answer to these questions. Next week.
You know, talk about squeezing New Yorkers and tourists for every penny they can. You know, you hear the congestion pricing got approved, that's going to go, but there's still legal battles that are going to be going on because of this. I mean, you have unions, you have school boards, you have, you know, boroughs that are looking to sue the MTA and New York City for the things that they're doing. You know, I mean, adding a toll to Midtown and, you know, to say like, hey, if you got to go, you know, down into the center of Manhattan, you know, you got to pay another $15 to get in because we're going to clean the air on there. But it doesn't help because it reroutes the traffic into other parts of the boroughs, especially Staten Island, who gets screwed again. And they're about to screw Staten Island once again because this is the most ridiculous story to come around. In the latest demand for money, I mean, MTA has become literally a mafia. And I'll tell you why. You know, here is one of the biggest events that happens every year around November time. And it brings a lot of people from all over the world to New York City. It brings runners, it brings fans. You know, you're lining up the streets with a lot of people. Vendors make money off this. The neighborhoods that this goes through makes money off of this. And what we're talking about is the New York City Marathon. And they want to charge a toll. They want to charge a toll to the marathon organizers. I mean, they want to charge $750,000 to cross the Verrazzano Bridge, you know, in congestion pricing. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, what? It's because they're breathing out carbon dioxide. It's going to make the air bad. I mean, come on, this is ridiculous. I mean, we're going to read this out of the New York Post a little bit on this, and there's a second part of this on a second article that came out to this as well. The MTA latest congestion pricing schemes charge runners for crossing the Verrazzano-Narrows Bridge. The transit agency is waging a war against the organizers of the New York City Marathon, demanding $750,000 to make up for toll revenue lost during the iconic race. You didn't want people to travel in cars into the city, but now you're losing money at the toll booth. What does that tell you? And if the New York Roadrunners doesn't pay up, the agency is threatening to restrict the use of the bridge, potentially reducing the number of runners who can compete in the wildly popular event each November, the New York Times reported Wednesday, citing internal memos. During hardball negotiations, the MTA initially said runners who start the marathon on Staten Island would only be allowed to use the darker lower deck of the bridge for the 26.2-mile race if organizers doesn't pay up. Pay up!
My money! You gonna give me my money? Where's my money, man?
Officials backtracked it slightly, though, in recent weeks by saying the marathon organizers could have their pick of the upper or lower for the race, but not both, according to the memos. The marathon, which expected to draw 50,000 entries for this year's race, the that has used both decks of the Verrazzano Bridge for the past 36 years. The New York Roadrunners isn't caving to the MTA demands. They have argued they have to likely restrict the number of entries going forward if the runners are banned from using both levels. Otherwise, the race duration will have to be extended, meaning the bridge and local streets will be shuttered for longer to allow runners to compete the race, according to the memos. New Yorkers love Marathon Sunday, but taxpayers cannot be expected to subsidize a wealthy non-government organization like the New York Roadrunners to the tune of $750,000, the president of the MTA Bridges and Tunnels, Catherine Sheridan, said in a statement. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. The MTA is prepared to continue working forward toward a final agreement with the NYRR, provided it leads over time to full reimbursement for the lost revenue. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, even now, there was another article on there that the Staten Island's borough president, Faselli, has come forward on this and slamming the MTA because $750,000, they could find that. I mean, they have proper. Let's tell you something. One thing, if you haven't realized, is that MTA owns property. They own real estate throughout New York City, and they have sold it. $750,000. It's not like it's millions or anything like that. They could go with that and look for it elsewhere on there. And listening to what the borough president, Vito Faselli, said, he slammed and this is coming from the New York Post, he slammed the transit agency after it revealed that it was threatening to restrict the use on there if the Roadrunners doesn't cough up the extra crowds. It is wrong. It's the wrong race to run, Faselli griped. We lose $700 million a year to fare evasion and toll evasion. They can find that money in 9 hours if they enforce the law. As the negotiations continue, the MTA has warned the New York Roadrunners that the racegoers will only be able to use the upper, not both, if the toll isn't paid up. Nothing surprises me anymore with the MTA, the borough president added. And this, like I said, this is ridiculous. This brings in money into the city of New York. This does bring up money. There are people that come from all over the world for this event. It is like a Super Bowl. It is like a World Series. This is a major event, and it brings a lot of people to the streets, whether they're local or they're from outside of New York. I mean, if they're from other countries. I mean, we have people from all the way from Africa, from China, to the United Kingdom, to South America. I mean, we get people from all over the world that comes to compete in this event, and then there are those that come with them to watch them compete. I mean, I think it's time that the MTA books needs to be opened at this point. MTA needs to be investigated, because basically all this money that's coming to them every time, they're like, well, we need more money. We need more money. Where's all this money going to? It's going to ridiculous things. I mean, now they want to put something similar out of Total Recall, these detectors that detect guns. You're not going to put them in every train station, because you're not going to have cops in every train station to arrest anyone that brings a gun in. And also, you're restricting the rights of people who carry guns legally into the New York City subway to protect themselves. And you're not protecting the people once they leave the subway. Think about that for a minute. And the stations that don't have these devices in, of course, you're going to have people coming in through those entrances, which that's what happens all the time. You have the National Guard at certain stations, not at every station. So they're going to go elsewhere. We still see the crime on the subway. We have women on the streets of New York and below that are being injured. They're being attacked on constantly. We have people that with mental issues that are down there that are attacking people, you know, threatening them and stuff like that. But yet, when you have someone like Daniel Penny steps up to protect the people, you arrest him instead of dealing with the situation. You're not dealing with the situation. You're just glossing over. You're only putting a Band-Aid on a bleeding person that just basically needs to be operated on. This is what it, you know, you have to go forward and do the job. But hey, listen, mayor's not doing anything properly. All he's doing is saying, we're trying our best, we're doing our best. No, they ain't doing nothing right on that. You have the police department struggling to try to maintain it. You know, their hands are tied. You have the governor. You have the, you know, you have other politicians that are just hampering the situation. And you have our organizations like the MTA that are just not doing the job they're supposed to do. Their leadership is not doing the job. It's time for new leadership. It's time for the MTA to be fixed. Finally, you know. You know, there are things that the MTA can do to boost ridership, but they're not doing it. Perfect example is, why not build a system from Staten Island into Brooklyn, straight into the city, as far as a subway line, and going in the other direction into New Jersey, from New Jersey through Staten Island, through Brooklyn, you know, connecting in both directions to other subway and transportation hubs. But they're not going to do that. They're not. You know, it is the thought of them. You know, fuck Staten Island. You know, fuck Brooklyn. You know, fuck New Jersey. This is the thought that they have on that. But meanwhile, all those areas are important to city, including New Jersey. Including Connecticut, including Yonkers, you know, including upstate New York. They're all parts of the area. When we say the tri-state area, we're all together here. But, you know, this is the thoughts that all these people have. So tell me in the comments below your thoughts about this. Is the MTA right to charge these people? No, you know, I don't think so. You know, am I crazy? Am I sane? You know, let me know in the comments on there. Don't forget to hit that like, share this video, and hopefully today's the day I've earned your subscription. So until next time, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to check out all of our other videos here on Cuticast TV and Man Man with the Show. We'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye now.
Thanks for watching, commenting, and sharing this video. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe, as this helps the reach of this channel. Finally, as a content viewer, you have the ability to help support this channel, as new internet laws around the world will diminish our reach and affect our sponsors. If you choose to help, there are two ways listed in the description below. The first link will lead you to a pay site where you can make a monetary donation. The second will lead you to our gear shop where you can buy shirts, mugs, and other gear. Discounts will be listed on the site. Once again, thank you for watching and your support.